So how have you been lately?
I've been alright, just really stressed out these past, the last few weeks of school.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much going on.
Yeah. And what all do you have going on?
Well, I have, 2 tests to do. Basically 3 to study for. And I have 2 papers that I've really procrastinated on. And I know that I'm going to be staying up really late. And, I hate pulling all-nighters because then I'm just really cranky the next day.
Why do you think you've been procrastinating lately?
Because I've been waiting till the last day to write these 6-page papers, and because I think I work well under stress, but it's not fun. I don't like to do it, but I do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you've told me that before, so do you think that there's any, reason that you procrastinate and wait?
I think it's just because there's so many other fun things going on the days before that I'm like, well, this can wait, I want to do this instead. And then, and things pop up every day, and then I'm at the day before, and I still want to procrastinate because there's still stuff going on, but it's 24 hours before it's due, and I have to, say, no, I gotta do this.
So I hear you saying that you're having trouble focusing.
Yeah, I get distracted really easily.
Yeah. What kind of things distract you?
Well, mainly my friends and my boyfriend distracts me a lot. He'll wanna, hang out with me while I'm doing my homework, but he ends up, trying to talk to me, and I can't, have a conversation and do my homework at the same time, so then nothing gets done. And then my friends want to go out somewhere, and they'll be doing something really fun, like going to a cool movie, and I don't want to miss out on it, so I do that.
Do you feel like you're being left out of stuff when you have to do your homework?
Yeah, I do. I feel like I'm, really left out. But, I know that, I guess I feel better because, grades are important to me, so I know that when it comes down to it, I'm gonna choose better grades, I don't want to fail my classes.
So you said that getting grades is important to you, so what does that mean to you to get good grades?
Well, I like getting A's. I'm pretty much an A-B student. I get a lot of A's, and, if I get majority B's, I get upset. Just because I'm so used to, the majority A's, and, I guess, my procrastinating has hindered that a little bit, but I don't know, I want to be able to be successful in all my classes.
Do you think you can be successful without getting all A's?
Not as successful as I'd like to be. I don't see that. But if you, don't get A's or even high B's, I don't think it's very successful.
Do you think other people who don't get A's and B's are successful?
Well, I don't think so, because I don't know, maybe it's a good point. I think it depends on the person, honestly, because I set a really high bar for myself, and, I don't think other people, I think people set, their own bars, but, I mean, for me, I, push myself, and, sometimes it's okay to not push other people. I think it's okay for them, but it's not for me.
I'm happy that you try to get such good grades, but sometimes it's more important to do your best than to worry so much about what grade you're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, that's what my parents have always told me, but I don't want to disappoint them. I don't know. My brother was never very good with the whole grades thing, so I try to do really well, so that way they won't, be disappointed in me.
So I hear you saying that you're worried that you're going to be a disappointment.
Yeah, I worry that I'm going to disappoint them because they already know that I'm still not sure, what I'm going to do when I get older, what career path I'm going to choose. They know I'm kind of lost right now, and I don't want them to think I'm losing my motivation, but I really am.
So what kind of career path do you want to go on to?
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe something psychology, but, I mean, I've always had that passion for animals, so I don't don't know. I've been trying to find a way to blend the two, but it's not been working out.
Does this uncertainty cause you stress in your life as well?
A lot of stress. I'm pretty sure I had a little bit of a mental breakdown last week, just because I just am so unsure of what I want to do, and I see everyone else like certain of the path they're gonna take, so they already know like what classes they're gonna take, and I'm having to meet with my advisor because I need advice on what courses I should take, and it's really frustrating.
So what did that mental breakdown look like for you?
It's just I kind of shut down,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't feel like really talking to anybody, and sometimes I cry. It's just I guess all the stress that builds up kind of unleashes, and it's not a good time.
So you're saying that you let stress build up so much that you have a breakdown?
Yeah,
How often do you cry?
not very often. It happens like when it comes to stress, probably like twice a semester, maybe twice, at least once.
Do you think you hold stuff in a lot?
Yeah, I try to hold stuff in because I don't like talking about it. Because I don't know, there's so many other people with like who come to me for their problems, and I don't want to be like, well, I'm going through this, you know.
Well, if you keep holding stuff in, it's just going to build up, and you're going to have issues like what you just told me about.
Yeah, but sometimes I feel like it's good for me if I just vent it out. Like, it's probably not healthy, but I don't know, it makes me feel better after it's all out.
Well, there are a lot of other healthy coping mechanisms that you can use. Have you thought of any, or do you know of any?
I don't know.
What do you usually do to try to cope with your stress?
Usually I listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, like, if I'm really down, I'll listen to some good music, or I'll try to hang out with friends, like, get my mind off all my stress, which usually helps, because they can get me laughing, or I'll just watch some TV, just anything to kind of distract my mind.
Well, those don't sound like bad coping mechanisms. Those sound good. Do you ever, like, run or anything?
No, I used to. I haven't in a long time. I used to play ultimate frisbee,
Okay.
but it's been a while.
What made you stop doing that?
Too stressed. I had too much going on between school and work, and I had to pick something, and I need school, I need work, so frisbee had to go.
Yeah. So, with it being finals week, do you feel like your stress has increased a lot?
Yes. It's increased a lot because, I don't know, I have at least maybe, I have 2 tests the week before finals, and then my finals, so mine are coming a little sooner, so I don't know, I'm not good at the whole sitting down and studying for a long period of time. I usually wait till the night before to study and cram it.
Okay. So let's go back to what you were talking about earlier with your procrastination. You just told me that you have problems sitting down and focusing.
Yeah.
Does that happen often, and is that part of why you procrastinate so much?
Yeah, along with the distraction, I don't like sitting in one place for a long time unless I'm like doing something like if I'm just sitting there reading like a textbook, I can't do it.
So when you study, you just sit there and you read, or do you make flashcards or anything else?
No, it depends on the class. Like a class last semester, I used flashcards, or a test a few weeks ago I used flashcards because I had to. It's a lot of vocab, but like usually I'll have like my notebook or my notes on the computer, and I'll just read through those, and it just gets really tiring, and I'll have to keep switching positions because I'll just get bored in the position I'm in, and it's awful.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Have you tried going to the tutoring center at all?
No, I haven't. It's kind of, I guess, the laziness thing. I want to do good, but I want to do well, but I don't know.
So you want to do well, but at the same time you have a hard time going to do what you need to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's other better things I could be doing.
And what better things could you be doing?
hanging with friends, figuring it out on my own kind of thing. Like, I don't know, because I'm just like, what if they can't help me? What if, it kind of like confirms my fear of like, what if, like, what I'm struggling in, they won't be able to help me with. And I'm just like, what am I going to do then? I feel like all my options would be out.
So you're worried that if you do go seek help, then they won't be able to help you and everything you will try will have failed.
Yeah. I'll feel like a failure pretty much.
So are you afraid of failing then?
Very.
Why is that?
Because I don't know, I've always been afraid of failure because I want to be able to be successful so I can end up in a career that I'm going to be happy in. If I feel like if I'm a failure, I'm just going to have one of those jobs that I'm going to, like, hate going to every single morning. And that's not what I want.
Why do you think that's going to happen?
I mean, I don't think that's going to happen necessarily. I think it's a possibility. It all depends on what I can figure out while I'm here. You know, if I can put a good degree together and, you know, get the connections I need. And it's just a worry in the back of my head that something might happen.
Well, you have plenty of time now to figure out what you want.
Mm-hmm.
College is a very short period in your life, and I mean, a lot goes on. But just because you do badly on like one test here or something does not mean that you're going to end up being a failure the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a lot of options still ahead of you.
Yeah, it's true. And I guess some of these classes I have a hard time holding attention. So I think maybe once I start taking classes that'll be more interesting to me, I'll want to try harder for it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Which classes?
Which classes will I like? Or
do you have trouble holding attention in?
My child psych course, I have a lot of trouble holding attention in that. And then there's sometimes my bio. Like, my bio is really interesting, but sometimes, like, what we're learning now is really microorganism stuff, and I'm not good at that at all. I get really bored, and so I don't do well, and I don't pay attention in class. I like mess around my computer because I can't pay attention. It's awful to me.
Has it been like that all year round, or just the end of the year?
Just the end of the year, because before we would talk about animal behavior and stuff like that, and that's stuff that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're talking about like little tiny things that I don't think are important.
Well, I could see how that can get frustrating.
It's very frustrating because sometimes I just don't get it.
Yeah. So have you had trouble learning in that class or just focusing?
Both. Like, we had a test and I was reading it and it just wasn't processing. I just couldn't grasp the concept, and I ended up doing pretty poorly in that test, and that really upset me. And like, that started getting me thinking, like, what if I'm just gonna mess up all of my tests?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess it's something I gotta work on.
Yeah. Well, just because you find one thing uninteresting doesn't mean you're gonna fail the rest of your tests.
That's true.
There's always something in a subject that people find uninteresting.
That's true.
But today we talked about your stress that you've been having with your classes and finals week. So next week we're going to talk more about how you can cope with that stress.
Thank you.